I'm not gonna rip my sleeves off because it's a nice jumper. And by nice, I mean like I got it in a charity shop, but
I already ripped mine off.
Well, there you go. Nye is not going to rip his shoulders off. I'm
Who's
glad
in
everybody was
pajamas?
able to get that important message as
Yeah.
we opened up the show today. Hi, good evening, and welcome to Garblag Games. Well, there you go. Nye is not going to rip his. There we go. Just checking that the speakers were working, and they are. It's been a slow week on Garblag Games. There's only been one or two shows on because technology has not been our friend this week. So place your bets on when it's all going to collapse on us tonight. Although we do have Vero, who is our patron saint of technology, with us tonight.
Yes.
So
I have learned great about computers.
fingers
And that
crossed.
sentence didn't make sense.
I have sacrificed a sparrow heart to the Elder Fae, so I'm really hoping that we succeed.
Oh,
here.
thank you for that. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm due for now.
So, Traveller. Last time on Traveller, it was 2 weeks ago because last week we had our little tech snafu. As you can see on the screen today, we've got our characters' names and stats and their origins showing up as well. So some of the information about the characters is now a little bit more visible. The numbers showing on people's faces are their stats. Traveller aficionados would know that once you go, they work in a hexadecimal base. So once you go above 9, your next stat is an A. So as you can see on Vero, she has 2 A's and a D, which is pretty impressive.
That's because I can count in hexadecimal.
Yeah.
don't
Nye's
know what
got
those
a
words
C
mean.
and a D, which is very impressive, and Pat's got a couple of 9s and a B. So
How are you talking about my high school grades? Oh,
I
see,
can't remember
that's
what order they go in.
impressive.
I think it goes physical ones first and then mental ones second. So yeah, that's right. So everybody is significantly stronger mentally than they are physically.
Well, I mean, I do have it here. So it goes strength, dexterity, endurance, intellect, education, and social. That's the order they're
That's
in.
right, yes. So that's
Well,
what
I'm
everybody's stats are
pretty
showing. You
strong.
can see their polity of origin showing in there. So MUT is the Magnate Union of Sunka. That's the one I had to shorten down to MUT because it was the one that wouldn't fit on the line otherwise. You've got Pat as X Yanan, and then Lee and Vero are both Uthans. It's also got their character class skill training thing written on there as well. Anyway, where were we in our last adventure? I'm loath to ask Nye because I know he has some plans lined up for this week.
What? No.
So we've had 2 episodes so far. In our first episode, our heroes picked up their new ship, the Vindictive Bitch, from the place called Shipyard and flew it to the inhospitable climes of, God, to get the name right, Quatwa in the Sobalir Republic, which is our horrible poisonous planet. Whereupon they picked up a box for transport to the world of Kneus in the consensus of Atia, and also an eccentric archaeologist who wanted to travel onwards from Kneus into the devastated belt of X-planets and stars that runs across the middle of the sector, the Great Barrier. In the second session, made it to Kneus after Dr. Kir Pavlov had decided to open the box and have a route around what was inside.
Yeah, that was not my fault. That was somebody else opened it. I can't remember who. And then I screwed around with it.
It's true.
I'm an accomplice, not the felon.
It's a
And then
lesser
I
sentence.
did some. Yeah, well, then I did more felonies afterwards that were independent, but that's a different story.
If
We're not
anybody
there yet.
here is an accomplice, it's me for putting up with all of you.
The Marquess took the opportunity to seduce the archaeologist's assistant because she was bored. Persilius decided to brush up on their spying by eyeballing all of the archaeologists' notes. But we made it to Kneos without any further incident. Our ex-Yannan military specialist, Hauer, went off to deliver the box to an identical looking gentleman to the person they'd picked it up from several parsecs away, which was a bit sus. Delivered the box, returned to the ship. The Marquess went into Traveller's Aid Society and picked up... Who did we pick up? We picked up Commodore Quess and his adjutant and secretary and another chap who looked like he might be from military intelligence but who they wouldn't name, and their cargo to take to Sobalir space. They're heading to Sobalir Prime, which is part of the Sobalir Republic and is at war with the Yannan Empire. It also sits flush up against the edge of the Great Barrier and presents an onward jump. Unbeknownst to the Marquess at this point, the archaeologist had been given further onward travel by other members of the crew and had invited a drilling crew on board with him with a grant that he'd got from one of the universities. So when they had to leave in a hurry because they were being pursued by agents of whoever it is after that box, they ended up leaving in a hurry, tearing a chunk out of the space station and taking with them a drilling crew and an archaeologist.
Yeah.
And that's
as you do.
About where we got to.
I feel like that one's on me.
Look, you still should have just said, sorry, we should have slapped a big red L on the back of it, and they would have gone, oh, okay, fine, that makes sense at least. And then we could have had that plausible deniability.
Yes, and
for North Americans or non-British people, the L he's referring to is when you're learning to drive, you slap a big red L on your car. Makes no sense to anyone else in the world.
Oh, I thought that was
in...
L for loss, which is a meme.
No, it's for learner. Like
no, we do. You do stick a big red L on your car in the UK when you're learning to drive, so everybody knows to avoid you. I didn't know that was
only in the UK.
I am the official English to American translator.
I appreciate
and English isn't even my first language.
All right, so we made the jump into jump space and we're transitioning towards Sobalir Prime. You have a week in jump space in which to do whatever it is you want to do, and that's about where we'd left the last session. The last session we finished off with you making the leap into jump space. So now you've got a week in which to do whatever it is you want to do. I would imagine there might be a few questions that need answering, because the first thing you're going to have to do is start repositioning this crew of miners and drillers that you've been lumped with, the archaeologist who you thought you'd kicked off the ship who's now back, his assistant who's looking decidedly surly, and now this group of Sobaliri military specialists who have jumped on board as well and are taking up a couple of your staterooms.
I would be at that point aware of the passengers I didn't want.
Yes, so we'll pick it up from after you've got into jump space and you've got a fairly rough and ready crew manifest that Persilius has kind of scribbled on a data pad. You have a crew of 6 miners, an archaeologist, an archaeologist's assistant, and then these 4 Sobaliri military personnel and their mysterious cargo. Your cargo bay has got a whole bunch of drilling and mining equipment sat around in it.
That would be hard to miss, I imagine.
At this point, considering the very rough takeoff and the unexpected guests, I will want to distract our Sobilier guests from all of that. They had asked if there'd be like cocktail hour or something, so I'm gonna like have a black tie event at the dance floor, so nobody who doesn't own black tie attire can't come.
I feel like this is directed at one particular individual that only wears a lab coat and like
No, no,
blue
it's just
jeans.
I mean
Yeah, no,
the
yeah.
roughnecks
Yeah, no, I understand. I just like
won't
the
pass the yeah.
That was me. Yeah.
So there's to be a black
cage.
tie cocktail affair in the lounge bar area that evening. Do you want to have a little staff meeting before that?
Well, I'm heading back to my lab. I have more sciencing to do, especially now that I know that they want it really badly. So I'm like, yes, science.
I love a staff meeting. I feel like we have
Looks like
some
it's
communication
you and the
issues.
Marquess having a staff meeting then.
Yeah, I and probably Persilis if we're in any case. How
Well, in any
long-
case, once Dr. Pavlov walks out, it kind of leaves the two of you in the cockpit of the ship. Persilius has gone off to do some stewarding with the guests.
Hawa, I'll have to lend you a ball gown, but I think I have a plan to rope Uthan, the Uthan Commonwealth, into getting rid of Yanan spheres of influence in the sector.
Well, this is not what I expected when you called for a staff meeting. I kind of thought you were going to yell at me for letting them on. By which I mean to say the people who were already boarding when I got back.
Well, I guess Persilis is doing a good job right now of keeping them occupied while we attend the worthy people.
Okay, all right. Ball gown. Interesting.
And I had promised them entertainment on the first day, so they're kind of expecting it.
Perfect. So what's this about a plan to rid the Uthan?
I mean,
Uthan's
if there's any footage of me carousing or worse with Sobilier dignitaries and military, it's gonna put a wrench in a spanner of Uthan and Yanan relations. Uthan's never gonna go to war unless it's forced to.
But you want us to go to war? I mean, I
want to be rid of Yanan, and honestly, I'm kind of tired of not seeing myself in the news. It's never like I've never spent that long not in the news.
Oh, honey, that sounds like a problem and should be remedied for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really good at sex tapes, so you know.
I would love to be adjacent to news. I don't know about having my name in it though. If we can avoid that at any cost.
We're just gonna start. We're just gonna start with a cocktail, see where that takes us. I'll have Persilis rig a few cameras so it's caught on camera that the Sobilier dignitaries and high-ranking military are having cocktail with the Marquess of Ficlor and you.
Right, yes, me. The person with a bounty on her head. Very high. Lots of people want me dead. Great, I'll totally attend.
And probably once we get in Sobilier, this tape can be leaked.
Yes, I am totally willing to do this and stake my entire life on this. And not at all being sarcastic.
At that point, we might put Yan'an in a situation where they have to fight a war on two fronts.
That does sound good, because, fuck them.
Based on what I know from Yan'an, they'd probably be antagonizing the Uthan Commonwealth. I'm hoping on it. Those shits.
I mean, this does sound like a solid plan. You being an esteemed diplomat to the Yan'an from the Uthan, polity would probably result in some sort of extreme diplomatic crisis if we go through with this. And if that's what you want, I just hope we survive the aftermath. That's all I'm saying.
Well, of course, I will talk it out with our Sobelier guests.
Okay. I mean, look, if you've got a gown that'll fit me, I have not the same body type as you do, let's just say.
Yeah, I have a few stretchy gowns from that time I had 10 pounds to lose.
I don't think I'm 10 pounds more than you. I think I'm 100 pounds.
It's very
more than
stretchy.
But look, I know I've come off as a little bit disinterested in this plan, but I support what you're doing here, and I don't want to see it blow up in our faces. Is all. I mean,
That's
actually,
why we're gonna first talk it out with the Sobelier. I've developed a very good relationship with our Sobelier guests thus far.
I don't distrust that. That is, I'm sure, the most accurate statement I've ever heard out of anybody's mouth ever. You are the most diplomatic and exceedingly capable of getting what you want person that is on this ship. So, I'll join you in this because you and I seem to want the same thing, except I don't want to die.
Speaking of people who get what they want, down in the Trouble Lab.
Yay! Also, holy shit, I love that team meeting. Just okay, so I think I have a way to bring another faction to the war. That's so cool, Pharaoh.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Totally left field, too.
Oh, no, I love
So
it. I
good.
love it. Okay, yeah. I'm screwing around in the lab. Oh, gosh. Okay, sorry. Yes, I'm in the lab. It's just me and my pets, my beloved companions.
Yeah, the three remaining iguana bunny babies and the iguana bunny mummy.
Of course, yeah, of course. They're very well looked after. Okay, well, I don't have anything grander than taking one of the PCs, because if everyone remembers last time I used a tablet, so I want to try and use some with a little bit more power in all respects and see how the wibbly wobbly stuff handles that, because I think I know what it is. Maybe Nye thinks he knows what it is, but he might be really wrong. Anyway, so yeah, I obviously again closed power, so it's only attached to I don't know, a battery or something.
Right, so you're going for a non-networked device, and you want to go for a more powerful computer.
Exactly, yeah. So something that's got a bit more capacity for what it is.
Right, so you take the lab computers off network.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then what?
I'd like to take the little thing out of its hidey hole. I probably should find a new hidey hole for this.
Well, the little Tupperware pot containing the mysterious animate blue sand.
Exactly, yeah. Tupperware, a scientist's best friend. And then I'd like to, just and see what it does.
So whereabouts are you putting it?
In the computer.
Okay, so into the processing core of the computer.
Yeah, that bit.
Okay, so the computer, I'm assuming, is booted up at this stage. Yeah. And running on its own separate power supply. So you fire it up and it starts working.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to be doing anything particularly noticeable.
Okay. Can I say hello? Like, if I have a keyboard, can I, like, I don't know, open a Word document?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what the super high-tech equivalent is. I'm just using what I know and just be like, hello. And then I'm going to take a step back and look at it. Does anything happen?
Okay, well, you do notice that it seems to have sped up its processing power.
Oh, okay.
Whatever is going on, everything you try is happening quicker and more smoothly.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I will let it run its course because if I remember correctly, it basically did everything it wanted to do with the tablet and just went and switched it off. So does it reach an end stage to its activity?
It doesn't seem to be doing anything, but yeah, power drops on the computer. You get the monitor still has power running to it. It briefly records an error message and then stops working.
Okay, I'd like to take the contained one. Because I'd like to remind everyone that's how I'm doing this. One is uncontained and the other is, and just wave it round where I put it in. Does it come back?
Yes, and it's doubled in size.
Ooh, okay, this is getting fun. All right, awesome. I'm gonna create the Grey Goose now. I can already see it. Anyway, back in it can still fit in the Tupperware, can't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's doubled in size. It hasn't got any bigger than that, so it was only a few grams.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Tupperware. Is there a rule I can make to hide it somewhere that someone might not look for it, just to be on the safe side?
There is, yes. I don't know if you have the requisite skills.
I probably don't know.
But
sounds very much at my wheelhouse. I'm very doubtful.
Yeah, I'm very doubtful as well. It will probably come off of Dex, but stealth would do it.
No, I won't make that roll. I'll just put it in the drug cubby hole that I cannot say their name. Persilius, yeah, I know. I keep wanting to say, like, I'm not even going to try and say what I thought I was going to say. Yeah, there we go. I'll just put it in the drug cubby that she found because, why fix what isn't broken? And I'll just go back to science and
stuff.
As
you tuck it away in the cubby, which is dark, you do notice that there's a very, very faint blue glow now present in the larger of the two containers.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. But I don't really know what else to do with it. Because eventually I'm going to allow it to integrate with the ship. But I know they're going to be very upset with me if that happens. No, I didn't say that out loud. I said that in my headspace.
Sorry, I should mute myself.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine. Well, eventually I'm going to run out of electronics. I'm gonna try like a blender or like this poor like hyper intelligent AI is like, Jesus Christ, the toaster. I learned that in like a second. He's just, ooh, a microwave now. It's just like, oh God. Anyway, that's me mostly done. Does nobody bothers me, do they?
Nobody appears to be all that interested in whatever it is you're doing down in the lab. You can hear a couple of miners clattering around outside.
Okay.
As they check over and like lash down their equipment more thoroughly.
Yeah.
So when you step out of the lab, there's two fairly heavy-set older gents from the Consensus of Atia.
Yeah. Well, I take a bathroom break.
Sort of nod to you. But they're tying down drilling equipment, lashing everything to the deck, making sure it's properly sealed in.
Well, if nobody has anything needs me for anything, I imagine that Kira will spend the rest of his evening, day, night, space, time period just doing science stuff. But like the more mundane, perhaps getting the lab back up to snuff, because as you said, it's not really a R&D, it's more of a production, and he kind of doesn't really want it to be like that. So yeah, he's just gonna be doing that.
Okay.
he also does not own a black tie, so he might not get into the event.
All right. So, Vero and Pat, back to you. We'll go Vero first. What do you want to do? I suppose you're organising this black tie affair.
Well, I mean, the steward would
That's
be
true.
doing it. So I would task Persil to inform our guests and prepare the scene as I get dressed and forage in my wardrobe for that one dress I remember that's like super stretchy. That's like it's blue, electric blue spandex lame, and it's a column dress with a slit up the top, all the way up to the thigh, like even like the hip bone. Yeah,
Love
it's
that.
very form fitting.
It's going to be even more form fitting on.
Can't wear
power.
underwear underneath that sort of form fitting.
This is going to be super comfortable.
Yeah, no sudden moves.
I'm totally used to this kind of attire.
It is modest by Uthan measures.
I think Uthan and Yannan standards slightly differ in the modesty stakes.
Yeah, well,
Hawa's been doing her own thing for like 20 years.
It's
But what she
true.
wears these days is mostly tank tops.
Polity of the Puritans versus polity of the libertines.
well, I'm gonna give our guest a big honor, and I am gonna wear traditional ceremonial dress of the Huthan people, but with the Ficor variant, which is the modest one. So I think we decided everything's see-through, right? In traditional wear.
Yes, Uthan traditional attire is layers of see-through fabric.
Yeah. But I want to say that the Ficor variant, and it's kind of like, I want to say blue is our color and like distinctive color, and it just has like this ribbon running down the front and the back that gives like the slightest hint of modesty by just hiding your slits.
Now, Ficor.
When they first started speaking to other planets, it's like they're really conservative. Like they get weirded out when we walk up to them in like our standard attire. All right, put a ribbon in. That'll calm them down. And then they're just they're not calmed down. Really, the ribbon didn't do it. I don't know. Don't know how to deal with these people. Just my goodness.
So prurient.
I feel like there's horrific propaganda against this kind of attire, but like they never actually show what the attire is actually looking like in the Yan'an Empire, because like even depicting it would be considered licentious.
I'm also gonna like wear the official jewels of like the Picor marquee ship, whatever is kind of like a tiara or like whatever. You know what I mean, like.
I mean, Pat, technically you could wear a dress uniform, but you don't really want to be wearing a Yan'an dress uniform.
Yeah.
You could wear a ranger dress uniform if you wanted to.
I'm absolutely counting on the fact that the Sobilia will all be wearing their dress uniform.
I like the thought, Pat, that like the Yan'an say like, yes, use your imagination, then quickly go, wait, no, imagination equals thought, and we don't want that. No, bad.
Don't imagine it. It's worse than you could possibly imagine, so don't try. Don't try.
They must be
There's
evil
the
then.
Yan'an there going, but ankles.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I probably still have an ancient Yan'an dress, which would actually fit me kind of loosely, because like first off, they are all loose pretty much, and second off, I've definitely lost a few pounds since I was a buff army captain. But also the Yan'an dress is not going to be, it's like fucking a Puritan dress. It's not going to really fit in here.
It's also not going to
Somehow
go down well with the nation
more
that they're at war with.
puritanical.
It actually doesn't show my ankles.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's also like there's about 8 foot of it in all directions, just so it's impossible for anyone to get close to you as well.
Optional veil for that one part of the Yanan where you can't even show your face.
All right, so the evening rolls around ship time. Persilius drops a tray in to Dr. Pavlov. Are you not going to the party?
There's a party?
Black tie party in the lounge?
Huh. Do people want me to come to the party?
Your crew, you could go if you want to. I hear it's for the Sobaleri military. They're all going to be there.
And you're like, would you like me to come to the
I don't think
party?
you have to if you don't want. That's why I brought you a tray.
No, it's like you'll like pull out like I don't know, like a bit of like black paper and like just cut it into like a tie shape and like staple it to his to his lab coat and be like, I can come now if you would like, but I
up
can
to
stay.
you.
Yeah?
If you want to go, you're welcome to attend. I'm going to go and make sure that the miners and the archaeologists don't try to attend.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I know why they're not allowed to come. I'll just leave that Bunsen burner burning, and then I'll head out.
Okay.
It's like
You have academic robes or something? I'm sure that would do.
You have academic robes? Nobody ever bothered me when I was studying. They left me. They gave me a nice big lab. I just sat down there.
Did you not have
see anyone
like a robe thing to go over your clothes for graduations and ceremonies?
Oh, I think I may have. What did? Oh, oh, that was the one that got the pig blood on it.
Black tie includes all dress uniforms.
Ah, I like the idea that Karen comes up with like just like a black chunk of paper. It's like no, no. He said, "No, I don't have to. It's fine." I honestly love listening to Pat and Vero. Honestly, it's so much fun hearing the machinations.
Well, equally,
I'm
you've
happy
just
to
been
be
told
the
that
lab.
all of the Sobaleri delegation are going to be there, so.
Wait. Oh. Is the guards there as well? I want to go by their room now.
Who knows? You'll have to look and find out, won't you?
Yes, I want to go by their room. Okay, yes, I now have a plan.
All right, so that evening in the lounge, Persilius has done a pretty good job. I mean, the ship does make it quite easy for you. It's quite a roomy ship, and the lounge bar area, because this was originally a safari ship, this room is kind of set up for larger gatherings already. You could probably fit in 20 or 30 people comfortably, and there's only half a dozen of you. So Persilius is standing by at the bar with cocktails and glasses of champagne. The Sobaleri military group arrived together. The Commodore, his attaché, the young secretary, and the other member of the military who appears to be there under some duress, but is there nonetheless.
Is this the gaunt
The
gentleman?
gaunt fellow, yeah.
Okay, right.
I just want to specify. I had asked Persilius to rig some hidden cameras.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly sure your ship has cameras dotted around it anyway, so a few extras won't be that big a challenge for Persilius to get thrown together. So, Pat, what did you go for dress-wise in the end? Are you wearing the super stretchy skin tight, or did you want to go for
she doesn't want to be seen. So all right. Headspace of Hawa right now is She definitely wants to be as unrecognizable and anonymous as possible. She does not want to represent the Rangers here. She definitely doesn't want to wear her fucking Yanon military garb. Really, her only play here, if she's not going to like break into her, pre-Exodus armament of clothing, is going along with the blue column dress. But she's going to ask if there's any sort of like, I don't know, like a jacket or something that I could put over this, maybe a shawl, something.
Yeah,
a little bit to cover the shoulders.
Yeah.
And they're fairly meaty
something.
shoulders. You wouldn't want to mess with those shoulders.
Oh yeah, here's the jacket. It's a see-through one. It's like
Yeah, no, it's she's
I
gonna
love
give you
it.
like a bolero, but it's see-through.
Okay.
just going into the Marques's wardrobe. 98% of it's see-through. You're like, okay, right. I'm starting to see a pattern here, but that's cool.
It's see-through, and also like my shoulders are out here. Hold your shoulders.
No, but we're big on like flowy things, so
Okay,
Oh.
the flowing work. Probably.
So you've squeezed yourself into this Uthan outfit.
It's a pity I don't have a chance to change and run inside. If I had 2 minutes, I have something that would fit, but I'm not going to do that.
And Vera is wearing the traditional garb of Fikor, which is one of the more conservative parts of the Uthan. Oh god, my computer's doing its thing.
Oh no.
So bear with us. The sound always continues working when this happens. So we've just got to kind of waffle on for a moment while I hopefully get the screen back. That didn't work.
I should really just keep all of my costumes out here. That way I can do quick changes. I never know what I'll need. Especially with this game, actually, and like others on Garblog, they always keep me guessing.
Yeah.
So
Oh well,
it's
there we
a-
go.
it's a
Everything is
problem.
still running. It was just my Twitch window that crashed. So
It's a
that's
problem with-
entirely acceptable.
playing a game with me is kind of like, well, there's going to be a lot of technology and fashion.
I love it. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing.
All right. So you're waiting in the lounge when the delegates arrive.
Oh, no. I'm always fashionably late.
Okay, but it's your party.
No, the hostess is Persilius.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought Persilius was stewarding.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's kind of like, well, but usually, like, the lady of the house makes her like a grand entrance. when
Oh, I
all the
see.
guests
Oh, you're
have
going for the
arrived.
full Uthan experience.
Would you like me to be in the party before or during your entrance?
You go ahead.
I can't imagine you
Okay,
being
yeah.
anything less than punctual somehow.
Yeah.
She's very uncertain about how to proceed in this. She's never been to a black tie event that wasn't a military dick waving contest.
Well, as luck would have it, the Subaliri delegates are all military. So the Commodore and his adjutant and the secretary and the agent all arrive in full formal military uniform, which you recognise because obviously you will have seen it across the table in the past.
I recognize it blood spattered.
Yeah, I was about to say, how was just like, oh, I could wear my medals. I got this one for killing. Oh, yeah, can't
Maybe
wear
not.
any of those.
I think Hawa's past the point of even thinking she can wear those now.
Yeah. Oh, I got this one for. You know what? All these are probably bin worthy.
Yeah, no.
And so the Commodore bows when he sees you, doesn't
Try
take
to
your hand
curtsy,
because
but I think I don't do a very good job.
you're still known. So he bows when he sees you, takes a drink from Persilius, and you indulge in a little bit of idle chit chat, which is probably somewhat stilted and uncomfortable. Fortunately, the young lieutenant, the adjutant that he has with him, steps up and begins to have more of a discussion with you about various training methods. I mean, he's not being terribly subtle, about sort of probing you for information about how Yunnan troops train, but he's doing it in an open way, so you feel more sort of at ease with it. Like, he's addressing you in stuff you actually feel comfortable talking with.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
How much can you
probably
bench
feel-
press? Huh?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
What do you
pretty
bench?
comfortable with this, and also I don't think that I give a shit about keeping state secrets. So like, she's very freely talkative about Yan'an training.
You're about
training
20 years
tactics.
out from state secrets anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anything she knows, she's probably already said, but she'll say it again for sure.
So you and the young lieutenant, also a Quess, Anjay Quess in this case, Lieutenant Quess, indulge in military dick waving about
I'm
various
comfortable with
training techniques and who has it harder at boot camp and what each kind of special forces, that kind of thing.
If we get into that, I'm sure she's like, look, I don't give a shit about politics here, but I think Yan'an's got it rougher, and that's not a good thing. I think they really abuse those poor fuckers on the ground there.
So you're having a nice little conversation about training techniques, and you're actually a little bit more relaxed as a result when in swans her lateness, the Marquess of Ficor. Did you want Persilius to announce you? You've gone quiet. I can't hear you.
No, that would be too ostentatious, and I'm kind of like want to be like, obviously I'm making a grand entrance, but
you don't want it to look like you're making a grand entrance.
Well, it's kind of like the Commodore probably knows what this is about because he's a diplomat.
For you, he does take your hand and bows and kisses your hand. Persilius furnishes you with your favourite beverage, and you start the idle chit-chat portion.
Oh, I would start with straight up telling the Commodore, full disclosure, I am having us filmed for our mutual benefit.
Of course, I completely understand the need for such things. This is your ship, after all, and we have nothing to hide. Isn't that right? He says pointedly to his agent companion.
I'm going to say, and I have everything to show.
They're too tasteful to say anything. The agent is not wearing his long coat and hood. This time he's wearing standard Sobolier military uniform, and you can see that he is a major, implying that he's probably ground forces or military intelligence. The young lieutenant and then the secretary is also a lieutenant, but a lower grade, junior grade lieutenant. And they're quite accomplished diplomats, the three of them.
Would the Commodore kind of put one and one together, so like as enough diplomatic knowledge, just like, oh shit, she's a Marquess of that place, I will have it to spell.
Oh yeah, he's no dope, but Ficor has the reputation as well of being the most honourable part of the Uthan monarchy. Are they monarchy?
Commonwealth. So yeah, I take it's kind of like a parliamentary monarchy.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, they're a parliamentary democracy. That's right.
Just it's all open to the world. They keep no secrets. Yeah.
Just like other parliamentary democracies that we know.
What I'm asking right now is, would he know?
Constitutional monarchy. Sorry, that's the phrase.
Yes. Would he know my role with Yan'an, or should I spell it out?
Well, he does know that the role of the Marquis of Ficor is to be an ambassador to the Yunnan, but it would be considered in poor taste to bring it up in conversation with the Marquess, because obviously the Yunnan have certain parochial views. He makes oblique references to the old-fashioned and patriarchal viewpoints of the Yunnan military, whilst pointing out that, of course, the young lieutenant with him has risen this far on her own merits, as all women are able to within the Sobolir Republic.
I'm gonna be like almost as full frontal as my outfit is. I'm gonna say, so I take it you haven't heard of the Marquis, well, the ex-Marquis and I's divorce?
The business of marriage and divorces among the people of the Uthan state is sometimes very difficult to remain abreast of.
I'm only mentioning it because it is of importance to you, as I am now the one with the title of Marquess and the one with the duties of representation to the Yan'an Empire.
My word, this is most unusual, and presumably quite a difficult position you find yourself in.
Yeah, I hate it.
Have they made any suggestion about when you could potentially take up your diplomatic role?
I hope never.
Understandably so.
This is why I'm here.
Ah, I see. Exploring the galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, Yan'an's completely destroyed my life, even though I've barely set foot in their rotten empire.
Indeed, it is a challenging place to find yourself at odds with the Yunnan Empire.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mince words. I think the sector would be better off if we were rid of their system.
It is a great shame because the Union can be very productive and useful people. They are often most helpful. And while they can be quite strange in their relationship with technology and research, I notice your Union scientist is not with us this evening. Is he not able to join us?
Oh, you know, Professor is...
I forgot that was me. There's a scientist here? Sorry.
Is does whatever he wants whenever he wants.
It is a great shame. Major Kor is also something of a scientist, and perhaps they could have found some common ground upon which they could have discussed things.
No, yeah. I'm gonna have Priscilla's try to buzz in the professor, try and coax him to come.
Well, don't feel as though you have to. If he is currently preoccupied, that is not a problem. But
no, I'm not gonna say that to. I'm telling you.
Oh, you guys telling me? Sorry.
I was just like, oh, say no more, and I'm gonna go to Priscilla's like, get the professor in here.
So Persilius goes over to the intercom, picks up the handset rather than just buzzing him through the wall and shouting. And he comes back to you a moment later. The professor is not currently in the lab, Marcus. Meanwhile, the professor...
I feel bad now. I wish I was in the lab, but it's a. I probably will return in a very short moment because I imagine this is not going to go at all anywhere close in my favor. But that's okay. I would like to head over to where the Sobolir are, but I would like to be wandering around looking ditzy if possible. I think the professor is aware enough that people think he's a bit of a weirdo, and he knows that he can pull the "I don't know where I am" card.
Their rooms are quite close to yours because they're on the same level.
Okay,
so you don't even need to look all that ditzy because their rooms are kind of right next to yours.
But that's what I want to do. What I want to do is the thing you do when you walk into a room you're not supposed to be, but you don't really like the wrong room, like the, oh my, what am I doing in the kitchen? I need to be in the living room kind of thing. I want to do that with that room. Is it locked, the room?
It is locked, but you can make an electronics roll.
Oh no, he's gonna knock, but like kind of in a because he's still playing up the idea that this is
There is no
lab.
answer to you knocking.
Hello, are you in my lab? This is
No
my lab. I'm
answer
fairly
still.
sure. Oh, God. I really don't want to fuck over the Sommelier because they seem like very bad people to fuck over. Oh God, I can't. Would he, if he thought it was his lab, try and break into it?
Well, I mean, if you've forgotten the password, you would probably need to run a bypass. It is a new ship, after all.
Yeah, okay. I think I'll futz about with the electronics.
All right, then. So you're making an electronics
Just a note.
computers roll.
Well, I think it's just electronics then for me, is it?
Well, all of them have to have a specialization. What's your electronic specialization?
I haven't added one.
Well, why don't you make it
forgot
computers
to.
then, since
Yes,
it's the most logical one
yes.
for you?
Yep. I have 2 levels in electronics, so do I need to have 2 specialities?
No.
No, okay, that's fine then.
No, you've got electronics, computers at 2, and then your electronics is at 0 for everything else.
Oh, is my computer's at 2? I
Electronics
thought it would be 0.
computers is 2. That's the one you've got 2 levels in.
Oh, okay. I only have 1 level in electronics.
Oh, okay, so
That means
it's 1 then, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just don't want to like be fudging the rolls or
No,
anything
you're
because of my
fine.
idiocy.
What's a 1 between friends?
Okay, and I just roll? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no modifier or anything? Okay, sorry, I'm still kind of unfamiliar. That's an 11.
11 is a very, very palpable success. You basically use the sort of super user access to that will bust open all the doors. You're just like, this is my ship, whatever.
Yeah.
And you walk in. I mean, it quite clearly isn't your room. There's none of your stuff in there. The room is a stateroom, but quite a bare one. The only things that are in there are a small case. The hooded long coat is hanging up on a coat hook on the wall, and there is a large, looks like wooden crate with some kind of metal bolts around it that seem to be exerting some kind of field that's keeping it upright.
He's going to go, hello? Hello?
No answer.
Okay. How many Sommeliers were there? There was 4.
4.
The 2 lieutenants, the person
Commodore,
with
2 lieutenants,
Commodore,
and the
2
major.
lieutenants. Ah, I thought there was a 5th then.
Nope.
So I feel a lot more would he? I feel bad now because I don't feel like he would. Yeah, I know. I don't think he would go
you're
through their
peeping
stuff.
because you want to see cool tech.
No, I know, but
There's
I
a
feel
difference
bad
between.
because...
I mean, I'm not expecting you to like go in there and rob the place.
Yeah, I just feel guilty, like now, because like with the previous one, I wasn't expecting to go so erstwhile and like fuck around with the tech, but I don't know if I would just effectively break in and just be like, I'm going to play with the toys in here.
Quick scan
Nah,
without touching anything.
Yeah, he'll do a quick scan.
Doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah. God, this is.
Your character just be like, I'm going to stare respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah, because I imagine they'll be able to tell if the boxes have been opened and futzed about with. So, what would I be rolling to look around?
If you're scanning, you can roll computers or science. What's your science?
Yeah.
You got
my sciences.
You've got all the sciences, haven't you?
I've got cybernetics, economics, history, and physics because I went for
So either
weird.
physics or computers would work.
Right.
Here.
Just to double check, I have a 0 level in physics. Is that supposed to be the level of my skill, or
Yes.
is it not? Oh, okay. Well then, I shall rectify that. Okay. Well, I've just gotten better at rolling physics. Okay. So physics. That's also an 11.
Okay, so the field on this thing is outside of the scope of Sobilier technology.
Oh. Oh
Whatever
my.
this thing is, it is not something they've made. It's something they've acquired somehow that is technology outside of their usual tech range. That much is very clear. The stasis box is cutting edge Atian technology, and they're slightly more advanced than the Sobilier as a base rate, but whatever is inside the box is radiating some kind of null field that you can't penetrate, and that's way outside the scope of Sobilier technology and outside the scope of Atian tech as well.
Oh. Interesting. And the wooden box is that
is a box made of wood. It's like a crate that this stuff is stored in.
Gotcha. No, I think he has survived in the very weird legal position that he has by not antagonizing people that are stronger than him physically. So I think he's going to be satisfied. Yeah, I think he's going to be satisfied. Now, obviously, if a certain person came with him with it opened, then it's all free game. Like someone's done the hard work for him.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I don't think he would do that. So he's going to leave. He's going to relock it to make sure it doesn't look like he's done anything wrong. And then he's going to return to the lab.
Okay, on your way back to the lab, you bump into Stephen.
Oh!
The archaeologist's assistant.
Okay. I imagine if we bumped into them before, he's just kind of looked at him and then moved on. So unless he's like says something, he's just gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
What's your social? It's not great, is it?
7.
Well,
it's better than it's better than my physical stats. It's the weakest of my brain stats.
Weakest brain stat.
Yeah.
Can you roll? Do you have deception?
I do actually.
Okay, well, can you roll deception for me then?
Yeah, no bother. Oof, that's a 7.
That's not a success.
Yeah, I know.
-1.
Yeah. Damn, I've got a 0 in deception, so I'm not that good. I get most of it from my brains. Boy. So what, am I deceiving him that I was just in the room?
No, you were seeing if he was deceiving you or not.
Oh. Why? Because he bumped into me?
Yeah, because his facial expression's a bit weird, but...
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I imagine I wouldn't really give a shit about this guy. Like as we said, I think he would have been interested in the archaeologist stuff, but he's kind of a bit of a... There's somebody bashing on my ceiling. It's very annoying. He's kind of like a butterfly when it comes to fields of science and research. So he kind of was like, oh, archaeology. Then the next he's like, oh, genetic engineering. So I imagine him having like a coherent conversation with the archaeologist is a bit frustrating for both of them, because he's like, why do you keep talking about this archaeology? We did that yesterday. He's like, why do you keep changing the subject every time I meet you? Two subjects I haven't even heard of. So yeah, he probably doesn't really care about the assistant much. He'll just move on.
Now back to the lab then.
Yes.
There's half a dozen messages waiting for you when you get back to the lab.
He'll open the latest one.
It basically says, "Come to the party now."
He will go right, and then he'll go like this with his hair, but will immediately spring back into its position. He'll pick up like a beaker and put like a flower in there with some water, because he thinks that's something you do at parties. And then he'll fill a balloon with helium and like tie that.
That's the other thing you do at parties.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, parties kind of changed in the 27 years since he went to one as a 8-year-old.
Hey, at least it's helium and not nitrous oxide.
Exactly. Yeah. He's and he's gonna be like, okay, and he remembers. And he's cut the black tie quite nicely, and he goes chunk on his shoulder, obviously through the thick lab coat, so it's not actually touching his skin. Right, I'm good to go, and he's gonna power walk through.
Meanwhile, the party's going quite well. Light
Oh, no.
conversation, a few canapes. Persilius has done a very good job of preparing some snacks and some drinks, and there's a bit of music going on. But with very few people, it's not like people are going to start suddenly hitting the dance floor.
I like the faces Pat's making. What's great, Pat, is one of those details is actually true about me going to a party, but I'm going to leave it up to mystery.
I think it's probably the beaker with flowers, frankly.
No, it was the tie. I did actually panic and just staple a piece of black paper to an outfit because I was like, they said he's look good.
That's amazing. I love it.
Though that's why I specified it's thick enough not to accidentally staple yourself.
Cunning.
Yes.
So, Vero, how do you wish to proceed while waiting for the doctor to show up?
No, I'm gonna like keep it the same line of like I'm being very frank that I want them to go to war against Yan'an.
The Commodore is being very diplomatic about the whole state of affairs. I mean, obviously it would be like a dream come true if he can pull together an alliance of the rimwood part of the sector against Yan'an. That'd be great. It'd be even better if he could get Sunka and who are the other ones? The Higinos administration to act against them. That'd be his dearest dream.
Yeah, I mean, Yan'an is not known for having good relationships with anyone, so I'm hoping this has a bit of a domino effect, and it is a flash war.
Well, I will be honest, it would be wonderful if we could simply barricade them up in their own little space and let them get on with it.
I mean, Uthan, the Uthan Commonwealth would never declare hostilities, so we need to get Yana to be hostile.
Well, you will have no problem there. They are quite hostile people. They've recently they've been pushing quite deep into the Great Barrier. We claim a lot of this side of the barrier as sovereign Sobile territories. Obviously, Higinos control some parts, but there is a great amount heading spinward that is not owned, if you like, by anybody, and yet they are most concerned with heading towards the space most near to Sobile Prime, and this is quite an aggressive move on their part, as this is space which is very much our sovereign territory.
I mean, I leave the map reading to you. I just know how to piss off Yan'an badly.
Well, don't we all? I mean, they are quite a reactionary people. May I show you something?
Of course.
And he pulls a little hologram out of his pad and he says, look, this is the current state of the Sobile Republic's border, and as you can see it stretches across to this part of the Great Barrier, and he's holding up a copy of the map which you can see on the screen down there. And if you look down on the Great Barrier, which is this line across the middle, anybody who's looking at home, Sobile is the big red circle, and Yan'an is that big yellow circle up at the top, but they're pushing all the way down into the Great Barrier. They seem particularly interested in these two sectors of space abutting right onto Sobile Prime. We are concerned that they are trying to set up some kind of forward base upon which they might wish to stage an invasion of our homeworld.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pretend to pay attention and care, and I'm gonna say, yeah, that's why you need us to come in and attack them from another front.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I know that that the Uthan people are very far away, farther only from Higinos than you are from Yan'an, but any investment of material or personnel would be greatly welcomed.
All right, so we're in agreement. Yan'an needs to declare hostilities towards Uthan, because else Uthan's never going to go to war.
I would be most impressed
we're not a
if you could
war-faring
facilitate
people.
this.
Well, I mean, I know how to piss off Yan'an real well. If their ambassador is having sex with a group of Sobilier dignitaries and military people.
Well, I could not speak of such things. I doubt my wife would particularly approve. But, I noticed that your good doctor has arrived. I fear he may have misunderstood the directives of the party.
He's an eccentric, yes.
Quite clearly.
Oh.
Let me introduce him to the Major.
Of course. Well, he has to think about just kind of come on, let's do it the Uthan way with a sex tape. He's like, wait, what?
So you arrive at the party holding a flower in a beaker and a helium balloon, and suddenly bearing down on you is a Commodore from the Sobiliri Navy and a Major from Sobilirian Military Intelligence.
Okay, I probably have looked at military books for a couple weeks when I was just being a layabout student who didn't learn how to be a doctor. So I probably know this is military. I probably don't know much because I think my history is not that good. But I'm like, oh, hello. Is this the party? I have lots of calls telling me I should be at a party.
Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us, Doctor. It is wonderful to have someone of your intellect and capacity come to attend on us at this time.
Oh, okay.
Allow me to introduce you to Major Kaur.
Oh, hello, Major Kaur.
Like yourself, the Major is also a scientist, a military scientist. He has great proficiency in manifold hyperspace dynamics. Is this a field you know much about?
Is this a field I could bullshit? Probably.
You could bullshit a lot when it comes to science.
That is very
He's
true.
talking about a really specific, narrow range of hyperspace mechanics that would be to do with jump space.
Okay. So from a technical level, is this something that is like?
Well, you have astrogation, so you know about it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, but is this something specific to Sobilier, or is this just a general thing that most?
No, it is a field
would
of
talk
science.
About? Okay, that's fine.
It's a narrow but an advanced field of science to do with hyperspace.
Okay, that's fair enough. I just don't want to be like, oh no, this is a weird thing that they've
come
up with.
There's
I didn't
loads
want
of
to,
maths in it. It's right up your street.
Okay, excellent. Yes. Oh, that's fascinating. He's gonna let go of the helium balloon because he realizes he's probably fucked up, and he's gonna shake the
and the helium balloon
hands.
sinks to the ground because it's artificial gravity.
He's now realizing. But yeah, he'll shake the hands. He's like, oh yes, I did study that field at one point or another. I do like to come back to subjects like these. Here is a hyacinth that I genetically engineered with a sunflower.
Marvelous, thank you.
Bin.
So, Doctor, do you understand much about manifold hyperspace dynamics?
Yes. As much as the net. Well, no, he was not going to say. Yes, it is a field that I did look into. When I was in university, they did like to feed me, as they called, pet subjects to just have a little rush around and think about. So yes, I was quite good at that. That was one that they laid at my door quite early on. So yes, I'm quite familiar.
This guy's quite reluctant to actually talk. He's asked you this question to be polite, but you have no idea about that because that's a social thing. And so you start wittering at him about astrogation and space maths.
Interesting. So for Nye's sake, because Nye's not great when it comes to social stuff sometimes, is it that he's faking that he doesn't know, or is
No,
it
no,
that
he
he
knows.
does know, but he feels uncomfortable
He
about talking
knows. He
about
just
it?
doesn't want to stop and have a chat with anybody.
Right. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine.
But
Oh, I
he's
just
clearly
realized who it
been
says.
told by the Commodore that he
Yeah.
is having a chat with somebody because we're putting in our faces at this party.
Okay.
So he's asking you he's asking you questions that are designed to try and stump you or confuse you.
Interesting. Okay. I'm happy to roll like a science if I could, as my attempt at social.
Yeah,
use
please
brain
do,
power.
because it's
Okay.
not. He's kind of science debating with you rather than having a conversation.
Ah, okay. Well, I imagine that Kerr has not talked to a lot of scientists who don't.
At least this man
want to-
understands the words that you're using.
Yes. Okay. Do you want me to roll just science or a specific like physics one on top of that?
Actually, if you want, you can do astrogation because it's more inclined to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're about the same rolls, so that's absolutely fine. That's a 9.
So you managed to sort of field his maths question, which comes from way out of left field. He's asking you some fairly advanced and complex astrogational information that you completely understand. It's like, well, yeah, there's a quaternary differential equation. Simply rotate it through 5-dimensional space and you've got the answer right there. It practically answers itself.
And that's definitely how Kerr is thinking of it. He's thinking as this guy is like not testing him, but just asking for fun. Like he thinks this is a fun game. He doesn't recognize this is meant to be like rude.
Yeah,
he's like,
this guy's trying his hardest to be rude and put you off by asking questions that you might not know. And actually,
you're just like, oh, fun, a trivia game.
Do know because you're playing a trivia game with a space nerd.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
At which point the Commodore comes over to you, Pat, and says, Madam Captain.
Please, I don't go by Captain anymore.
I understand you also reached this rank among the Rangers.
Yes, I do.
Well, then I offer you that respect for this title there. Perhaps,
I shall take it as such.
if you would be so kind, you could show me around your ship? And we can leave the young people to get acquainted.
I thought you'd never ask. Certainly. Follow me. I'll show you around. Start down in the cargo bay. I'll show you my ship.
The Major's just like watching him as he goes, like mouthing, "You motherfucker."
Yeah, the Major is definitely shooting daggers at him as he leaves.
I flash. I'm going to pretend that my character probably does notice and flashes a little wink. Like, haha.
And so you head off
the party.
into the belly of the ship with the Commodore, both still kind of carrying a drink as you go.
Fair enough.
And you're taking him down to the cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great distance to travel, so you get into the cargo bay and there's your little fighter ship sat there with all this drilling equipment strapped down nearby.
Got some other passengers, as you can see.
Yes, I noticed this appears to be some kind of drilling equipment.
Yeah, sorry, I hope it's not too low class for you.
No, the class is irrelevant. It's intriguing to me. What possible location they would be going for drilling?
Client confidentiality and all.
Of course. Presumably
doing
once
some
you have left Sobelia, there are many directions your travel could take you.
Exactly. We are,
It is just
we
that
are
our planet itself
travelers in space.
is not a healthy place. Many years of war has left the surface scarred and damaged, and so a lot of mining operations are carried out in orbit, on asteroids, or sometimes on the fringes of the Great Barrier.
Well, I can't speak to exactly where they're heading, but I don't think they'll be interfering with Sabalir sovereignty.
No, of course, and I'm sure they would have appropriate permits if they did. You are simply transporting them to their destination. I quite understand the nature of your ship and the way these things work. As an independent
quite
trader, we have to
understand.
take whatever jobs are available at times.
Precisely.
And this is your
And,
ship, you say?
Yes, yes.
She is very
She,
beautiful.
like myself and like your nation, is a little scarred on the outside, but she still works.
Yes, I can see you have seen some action here. What is this, carbon scoring?
Yeah, I've got some enemies. Yan'an. They
Yes,
don't particularly like the
naturally.
defecting thing.
So what is it
Not
that
when
led
you're
you to,
counting them.
if you don't mind me asking, what is it that led you to defect from your former
Well,
nation?
yeah, a lot of things, and I tell a different thing to each and every person I meet because there's enough to go around. But the simple matter of the fact is that I could no longer stand for what they stood for, and I could no longer stand by my actions serving in the military, nor even as a non-vocal citizen, frankly. Whole myriad of issues struck me as abhorrent and
You are a
inevitable
woman of
to my nature.
principles. I admire this. It is very difficult to stand up against one's own people for what one believes to be right.
I had to do something, and I don't think I did enough.
Well, what you have
But I
done
did what I
is an honorable thing. And I'm sure your reward will come. If not in this life, then perhaps in the next.
I don't seek rewards. I just want the galaxy to be a better place.
If you will excuse me, please, I must send a quick message. And he taps out a quick message on his wrist communicator. Meanwhile, back in the bar, Major Core, who is still trying to give you difficult maths questions, gets a message on his communicator. Dr. Pavlov, would you care to show me your laboratory?
Oh,
I would
yes.
be most interested in your research.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, yes. Come this way. And he's gonna turn around and be like, oh, yes. Science.
So, Vero, Dr.
gonna see
Pavlov
this.
takes Major Core. Hawa's taken the Commodore out of the picture. Persilius kind of looks over at you, dims the lights a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I think the Marquess can read go ahead, you crazy sex addict Marquess. This sounds like a good plan. And yeah, I guess we'll dim the light.
And so we move from
Okay.
the idle chit-chat to a little bit of dancing and then some close conversation, and the evening progresses. Meanwhile, in Dr. Pavlov's lab...
So we have this, and I'm explaining this complex piece of machinery, and we have this and this. Oh, and there's these little guys, and I'm picking them up and guapets.
Yes, these are Sobalirian. I remember hunting them as a boy. There is quite good eating on them. But you need at least 2 or 3 to make a full meal. And these ones are too young.
Yeah. Put the lid back on the vivarium.
He's not going to eat
Usher
them
him.
raw.
I know, but they're also his pets, so he feels a little bit anxious when people start talking about eating them. He's still not super sure about how. He's pretty sure she doesn't care about how big they are before she starts trying to eat them.
I like this guy.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, he'll show him around. I don't think, because I think the doctor is excited to be talking science with somebody, but I don't think he's elated enough to show him the thing that he knows he shouldn't show other people.
No, I mean, he's not stupid, is he?
Yeah. It's the same with the room. He's opportunistic. He'll take an opportunity when he sees it. He's not gonna make one himself. So yeah, if he's
To be fair, Major Cord doesn't spend a lot of time there. He lets you
No,
show
I
him
don't
around the lab
imagine.
and then pretty much makes his excuses and leaves.
okay,
And he doesn't head back to the party. I think I will turn in for the evening, thank you.
yes. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you. You know a lot about astrogation and the likes. It was very nice speaking to you about that sort of stuff. And I recognize that this is not always the kind of like scene for sciencey folk, and I apologize if I was a bit boring.
No.
But
Your understanding of quantum wave physics is thankfully something of a blessing in this place. I am not entirely comfortable, as you can tell, with conversation.
that's okay.
But I must
I'm not-
return to my quarters. I keep a very strict schedule.
That's completely understandable. Well, I hope in some future we're able to talk more about astrogation. But I shall, yes. See you later. He's going to kind of like wave.
He gives you a little sort of half bow as he steps out. And
I'm really
leaves.
glad I didn't mess with their stuff now, because that was quite nice. I would be really sad if I like broke all their shit and then was like, oh.
So Pat, you and the Commodore have ended up sitting in like the little staff kitchen
Yeah.
with a small bottle of whiskey,
I think we're swapping old stories.
swapping old war stories, sometimes from the same battle from different perspectives, which is a
those
little
are the hardest.
uncomfortable, but he seems
Those
to
are somber.
respect you. He's decided you're a person of principle, and as such is prepared to give you the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the Yunnan. It's quite clear that either you've spent the last 20 years of your life becoming a deeply embedded agent only to end up on some random travelling junk ship, or what you're saying is true.
Admittedly, in defense of that concept, she is on a ship with the Marquess and ambassador to Yunnan, and they're engaging in obvious, blatant spycraft here. So, like, you know, there's some merit to thinking that she's a spy, but no, she's not. She's not even close. And yeah, no, she would definitely. Frankly, she would speak about her, when she was a captain in the Yunnan Empire. One thing that she emphasized was that she was, everything she did to protect her squad underneath her, and the people that she was working with, and that's actually how she got these shrapnel scars all across her face.
Right, do you want to make a carouse roll then, please, Pat?
Yeah, I think this is perhaps the most pertinent time for my character to make a carouse roll. Let me go. Yeah, the first roll of the night for me too. How exciting. Okay.
Yeah, we've been very narrative this evening.
Very narrative. It's been fun. She did not do super hot on
You
that.
have rerolls.
You
I
do have
a
two
reroll.
rerolls.
I think I'll drop one on this. I don't know how
Okay.
many other rolls I'll get a chance for. 7. Does that work?
7, still not going to cut
Minus
it. You,
1.
Jesus. Am I doing something wrong here on the level 0?
have you
social.
are you trained in it?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So my
You're rolling it over social, right?
and social
Oh,
doesn't
yes,
have
you'll be
them on.
rolling carouse over social. Roll it on endurance instead.
Oh, okay. Well, let me try that.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to roll.
There's 2 ways to roll
carouse.
carouse.
I did not know. Thank you.
That's one of the things about traveller
that's a
skills.
little better.
Some traveller skills work with 2 different stats. So carouse can work with social for being the social butterfly and going around the party and mingling, and carouse can also work with endurance for I am going to pound these 16 shots down my neck faster than you can.
Hell yeah. Well, that's definitely the way she goes.
Over endurance, that's a +3.
Yeah. All right.
So what did you get on that one?
That's
11.
An 11. Yes.
An 11, yeah, you very easily hold your own, and the 2 of you have quite a pleasant conversation for the remainder of the evening, staying well out of the way of whatever is going on at the party.
Yeah. She didn't want to be privy to that either.
No, not your scene. You're not as prudish as a main planet Yan'an, but you're also not quite ready for Uthan diplomacy.
No, yeah, the whole group sex thing or whatever's going on in there isn't really what she's interested in, and also the fact that she probably even thought of it as group sex
you're probably like unaware of what's going on. You wouldn't like have your mind go to that. You'd probably thought like, oh, it's just like two veterans talking to each other, and like he was bored of being among the social people. Like, I don't think that Hawa would have heard the Marquez tell the Commodore about it, and I don't think Hawa would go to those conclusions.
So Hawa's definitely heard you talk about sex tapes, and I don't think Hawa is so much of an idiot that she doesn't assume that you're going to have sex with somebody here. But yeah, no, I don't think she knows what's going on. But she also wanted to get out of the party, so it's all good. She's where
It's
she
the
wants
question
to
of whether
be.
it's somebody or everybody, really, that's bothering Hawa.
Hawa's just where she wants to be right now. Not there.
So, Vero, very much your choice, and we shall draw a little veil.
Yeah. I have a good relationship with the two subiliary left, which are like the nephew and the girl.
Both the lieutenants, the senior lieutenant and the junior lieutenant, both attractive young subiliary officers, both quite prepared to do their duty by their nation.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like, lean in close and like, but like one after the other brief them of what we need to do.
Ostentatious.
So you're.
No, I'm just gonna be like upfront because we already have rapport, and I don't want to be like, I'm not entrapping you or whatever. Like I'm letting you know.
You're going for the consent angle, which is fine.
For the glory of the subiliary people.
And so you spend a pleasant evening in the company of the two young subiliary lieutenants.
Yes. And I'll probably have Perseus drop that tape to the Commodore to... He will know what to do with that.
And the remainder of the week proceeds from that point. So is there anything else you want to do in the interim? You've had your cocktail party, you've done your politics.
Yep, I'm going to keep training the carouse. I think we've got a good head start on the carousing all week.
Are you going to go for a repeat performance with any of your previous paramours?
If they want to, yes.
Nobody's complaining.
I'm a professional. Let's keep at it.
Consummate. And consummate.
There's two things I do well in life: divorce and sex tapes.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, it's the Holy Trinity. Exactly.
Dr. Pavlov, back to you.
Yes.
Any further research that you want to do in the remainder of the week?
I do actually have a kind of question because it kind of came up, and I feel like again he sometimes plays into his own naivete, so to speak. What is his planet's or system's position on the war? Because I don't imagine a I cannot say words this evening. I do not know what is wrong with me. I don't imagine they're super down for a war. Like, I don't imagine they like the Yan'an because nobody likes them. But
and they are Yan'an's closest neighbours as well.
Yeah, but
and they
I
kind
also
of do that thing. They're good fences make good neighbours.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, okay,
they've got really good fences.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's more of a hey, we don't fuck with you, you don't fuck with us.
Yeah. The Union station most of their military might along the border with Yan'an. Yeah. As a way of saying, look, we could, if we wanted to, don't make us go there.
Exactly, yeah, it's that one. And like, even if it was a case of, oh, you could theoretically beat us, but we're going to make you like super not happy about having done it kind of thing.
Well, the Union have got some very high population planets
Oh,
and some
interesting.
pretty damn good technology.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. Not that he wants to start get them involved in the war. He's just curious because I think he can put two and two together of why he would have been asked to go. Interesting. I don't think I have any like research per se because I think I will leave the box alone, especially when talking to the person's keeper, the box's keeper, and finding him quite pleasant. So I don't think he would, unless anybody like pesters him for anything. He's probably just gonna keep to himself, keep doing what he's been doing as per usual. But yeah, I don't think anything major. Oh, there's a question. For I guess my own peace of mind, between my planet and the Sobalia Republic, who's more technologically advanced?
Did we establish which part of the Union you were from?
I was from the. Was I not from the? Oh God, there was a bank involved. I'm trying to remember now the exact.
No, the
details.
bank is in my.
No, the bank is
sector.
Uthan.
Oh no, I got a loan from there. That was it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're not from the celebrity planet.
No, I'm not. Oh God, what was it?
Thin, breathable atmosphere. No,
There
not
was
that
one planet that had like tech up the wazoo, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm
correctly.
pretty sure it
The,
had
the,
to.
the capital, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, no, the capital does ring a bell because I think the shtick we agreed upon was he had been planning to go into becoming a doctor, but he spent so much of his time faffing about with other fields because my roles were not good for being promoted. But yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I think you were from Sunkar, which is the capital world of the Union.
Yeah.
20 billion people live on Sunkar. It's a very, very busy planet. But most everybody lives underwater.
Yes, that was the detail I remembered. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
And
I
they
don't
have
imagine.
a very high tech level B.
Oh, hello. Okay, yeah. So I'm probably not going to really be wanting to pester anybody here about secret technologies or anything, because...
No, you're more likely to have access to them than they are.
Yeah, exactly.
If I remember correctly, like the Sunkar were known for like cybernetics and like tech, and the Sobiliri were like military tech.
Yeah. I imagine that we don't we only have the military stuff.
They have a tech level of A. You have a tech level of B. You are a full tech level above them.
Okay, interesting. I also imagine the Yunnan, their tech level is just competent. It's like we can get the ships in the air, that they are rectangular.
They're
it's
not,
like,
they're not
why?
that bad.
Oh, okay. They're not like Amish.
No, they're not.
No,
well, there are some space Amish, but Yunnan aren't them.
Okay.
Yeah. Only their values are Amish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, like they're kind of unfortunately a little bit, conservative, pro-state, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have the same tech level A.
Yeah.
Conservative, pro-state, high tech. They're the baddies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that part. I was just, because I'm just trying to think, because I feel bad just saying, nope, I stay in the lab all day, but...
Yeah, tech level 10 is early stellar, jump drives, nearby systems, orbital habitats, factories, interstellar travel, colonies are viable. Tech level 11, artificial intelligence, grav-supported structures, jump 2, travel. So Sunkar are a whole level ahead. It's like the difference between Industrial Revolution and pre-industrial revolution.
Yeah, I follow.
You're allowed to stay in the lab all week because the Marquess is staying in her stateroom with company.
No, yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. I just I feel yeah, that's okay. Okay, yeah.
So the rest of the week then is quite uneventful. You go about your duties. You do another week's worth of training in whatever it was you were training in. You run the ship. You try and keep the miners separate from the scholars, separate from the military personnel, and run this sort of little dance around them where you try and like have meals in 3 shifts kind of thing. And
As one does.
the night before, mere hours before you're due to pop out of jump space above Sobilir Prime. Let me think. Nye, you would be the closest. So,
Okay.
can you make a
Ooh.
detecty roll of some kind for hearing things?
Oh dear, that's probably not going to go well, but I will give it my best shot.
I guess investigate is quite close.
Oh
Or you
boy.
could run gun combat against intelligence. Sorry, intellect.
Recon won't wear. Recon won't work.
Recon's
By
not
the way-
gonna
Recon
help
would work,
either.
actually, yeah.
No, that's
If it
not
matters
gonna...
to you, Ben, I'm probably going to be spending most of my time split between, the trying to figure out the controls of this thing and some studying up on piloting and tending to my own personal ship in the cargo bay. I don't know if that...
Okay, well, why don't you go for one of those roles as well? Investigate, recon, or gun combat against intellect instead of dexterity.
Okay, if it's gun combat against intellect, then I have something of a fighting chance. Yeah, that's not
Plus
abysmal.
11 plus 3. That's really, really good.
My intellect is the same as my dex, by the way.
Okay.
It was a 4.
You're at -4. You have a reroll though.
I'd rather save it for something that
Oh
I have
no!
a shot
Oh,
with.
sorry. I read it in reverse. Pat has rerolls. Nobody else does.
No, but even if I did, I probably wouldn't use it for this because it's not worth it. Because I'm at a terrible disadvantage.
Good. Understood.
Pat, what'd you get?
I got an 11.
Okay.
Plus 3? Am I right, Don? You can say that, or?
Plus 3. Yeah, it's like 8 is always a target.
Yeah, so...
And how far you go above or below does have an impact in this system.
Excellent. Yeah.
So your success is high enough above it that even though you're a deck away, you hear gunfire.
Yeah, I'm sciencing too hard.
Well, this is my job.
Yeah, you hear gunfire. You recognize the gunfire as well. Somebody is using... Let me think. Some kind of
Pew pews.
Higginos projectile weapon based on the sound.
Oh, not pew pews then.
What do I
Rat-tats.
You
understand
hear,
that to imply?
Somebody's actually just used a projectile weapon on board a ship, so that's stupid
fucked.
right away.
Yeah,
There
also,
has
I'm probably
been
taking my
gunfire
saber, not my
from
sword.
downstairs, which is where the Sobilir and the Doctor are located in their staterooms.
I love that concept. It's so good. It's like shooting a gun on a fucking Zeppelin. Just like, what could go wrong, eh?
I'm on that level as soon as I can with my sword in hand. What's the situation?
So you
What's the situation?
charge downstairs. As you're running, you hear an alarm go off. Somebody's
Everybody remain in your deck. Or
somebody
remain in
sounded
your
a personal
ships.
alarm. The Major. There is an alarm in the Major's quarters.
I'm there in a heartbeat.
Do I hear an alarm or am I still sciencing too hard?
You're asleep in the room next door. You do hear the alarm go off. You're like, what? There? Bloody
paging
students,
Percy.
fire alarms.
Yeah.
At that point, everybody hears the alarm,
Okay.
and people start like sticking their heads out of doors and stuff to see Hawa in her underwear with a sword.
But obviously, yeah, I do imagine it's Yunnan underwear.
Yeah, so it's like those cowboy one-piece onesie things with the flap at the back that you can undo.
Exactly.
I think she wears tank tops to sleep.
No, of
But yeah.
course. Yeah, tank tops all the way. Yeah.
So Hawa
Yeah,
comes
she's rocking the Ripley look.
bursting into the corridor as people pop their heads out of doors. The door
Stay
to
in your
the
rooms!
Major's quarters seems to be closed.
Oh, I'm gonna break those open if they're not unlocked.
Is there pinata?
What?
Are we having a party? You have a stick for hitting things with.
Honey, stay in the lab.
Okay. Well, in my room, but yeah.
His room is next door to the Major's, so...
I call your room the lab.
Yeah, the door appears to be not locked, actually. So as you get to it, you can see that the lock has been futzed with. Somebody has screwed with the lock, pulled out wires. It's sparking slightly, and the door is open by about 1/4 of an inch.
Oh boy. This is when I step into a room and find a dead body, isn't it?
Yes. So you pull open the door, and as you do pull open the door, you can see Major Core lying on the floor up against the bed with a massive wound in the middle of his torso. Definitely projectile, large caliber, something quite unpleasant. It's shredded his insides. He's had enough time to get an alarm off. You also notice hanging up on the wall is his coat, his hooded long coat, but the box that was brought on board with him is smashed open in the middle of the room. Inside you can see one large fleshy egg. There are 2 other fleshy egg shapes outside of the box, lying on the floor. All 3 of those are now pulsating slightly.
That's why the scan was null and void, because it wasn't tech, it was squishy stuff.
Okay, you know when I told you to get back in your fucking room?
Yeah?
Pavlov, cut over here.
Okay.
Everybody else stay in your rooms.
The Commodore.
Got a situation.
The Commodore comes to the door behind you.
Too.
What is going on? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Commodore.
What has occurred?
We might need you.
I'm going to put my slippers on. Oh, God. Oh.
Everybody calm
He rushes
down.
over to the Major's side and starts feeling for a pulse. He's like, Doctor, are you able to provide medical assistance? I cannot find a pulse.
Yes, I shall.
Please, if you can assist him, please do.
Is it worth rolling medic, or is he like somebody knows first
By
aid?
all
knows he's
means,
dead?
roll medic.
Okay, yeah. If I bring this motherfucker back to life, that'd be fun. That is a 13.
All right, he's dead.
Okay.
And you know, you could do like an on-the-spot autopsy. Even if you could bring him back, his insides have been so badly shredded he would die again.
Yeah.
Without access to a full cyber suite and the ability to replace his lungs and digestive system.
Yep.
He's going to stay dead. Or you could behead him and try and bring that bit back to life on a simple life support system. But again, it's touch and go there.
I will relay this information to the Commodore because it's his.
No, we cannot subject him to this life outside of life. If he has passed,
Understood.
then his time on the wheel has come and he will move on to his next life. But
Understood.
how has this come to be? What is occurring?
I can't roll. I don't have any investigative skill. But
He does look straight at Howard at that point, but he looks at you
handed a jack
with
of all
your
trades.
completely unbloodied sword, and he
Oh,
looks
wow.
at the Major and he says, Major, we must get to the root of what has happened here. And what are these things? And he points at the fleshy egg sac things.
I think those came with you.
I may know this one.
This is not what we were supposed to be transporting in the container. This is definitely not the cargo I was expecting. This is not the technology I purchased.
Can I roll?
Oh,
something?
you absolutely can.
Ah, is it science? Is it a type of science?
It is a
med-
biology roll, which is science
yeah.
biology.
I don't have science biology. I just have science.
I did try to do a quick investigation. We can cover that after this.
No,
though.
it's okay.
Just
No,
to
yeah,
try and-
go. Because I.
Well,
I don't
you
think I'll be
do
able
your
to
investigation
anything.
at the same time as he's doing that, and then we can run both of them separately.
No, you got an 11. Like Pat got an 11. for
Yeah, I did.
investigation.
You could roll.
Okay,
Yeah, it
so
was a really good roll. Yeah, you'd lead the charge.
Pat, by the looks of things, from that investigation, somebody's fried the lock, broken into the room, tried to get into the box, been disturbed by the Major, shot him, smashed open the box and then done a runner.
And can I, from my, 11 here, extrapolate where the most likely place they would go is? I mean, we presumably have ship cameras all throughout hallways, right? Is
Yeah.
this something I could quickly,
Yeah,
solve
you
right
could
now?
start pulling up screens and cameras and see what you can
Yeah, I
find.
guess I
No, what
get
did you get in
Percy on
your
the buzzer.
biology?
I don't have biology, so did I
Oh, what
just
did you get in
roll?
science?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't know if I was allowed to
Yeah,
roll
you
if I didn't
can
have
roll
the,
on base science at -2,
an 11.
which is a
11.
9, which is still a success.
Yeah.
They are definitely some kind of organic thing, some form of living creature. The null field would have been keeping them undetectable and also in suspended animation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They
yeah.
appear to have started gestating.
Okay. Right. We need hot water and towels. Commodore, you need to do that.
What? No, we have people. Wait, we don't have people for that.
How? It's an old midwife's trick.
Presumably
It has
you should be
nothing to do-
quarantining these things.
Oh, it's fine. I've gestated lots of things like this. This will just be another thing.
God.
I'll start picking them up and obviously very gently, and I'll put them in an incubator that I'll have in the
Okay,
lab,
they're
presumably.
about the size of a small medicine ball. So
Oh,
larger than a
okay.
football, larger than a basketball,
Okay, I can still
but
gingerly...
fleshy and pulsating. They've
Yeah.
got a slight
warranting
indentation in one side, not quite like a ball, closer to a ball bean
Okay.
thing going on.
I'll have to jury rig something.
And
but
they're
yeah,
slightly
just-
slick to the touch.
It's quite all right. I've gestated all
Oh.
kinds of living organisms, and they always come out right. So don't worry. I'll make sure these get the treatment they need. So, and then I'll waddle over. I'll make sure they all get there. I'll put some lamps on. It'll be fine. I can do this.
Okay, so you're taking them. You could take like 2 at once, or try and balance all 3.
No. I'm not. These are babies. Babies don't get balanced. So
It's only a short
would,
distance to the
yeah.
lab anyway.
I'll take
Vero,
a
what are
couple
you going to do? The
trips.
alarm's going. There are klaxons blazing. Howard's running around with a sword. Pavlov comes waddling out of the major's
even on
room,
the
holding
same
this
deck.
fleshy egg.
I'm on a different deck.
Yes. Oh, that's true. You're on the deck upstairs, aren't you?
And alarms aren't exactly my thing. I don't know with the people I'm
No,
with
but
what they do.
the lieutenant jumps up out of bed and immediately pulls on his shorts and trousers. Excuse me, please. The junior lieutenant is a little slower in extricating herself from the bed, but also does likewise, madam. And fairly soon, Pat, you've got this whole cadre of Sobaliri military in the room with you.
In the room with the eggs, we should be.
Well, the
as
eggs have
mentioned,
now been
quarantining them.
removed. By the time they get there, the doctor's removed all of the eggs to the lab. Where are you putting them?
In a corner that's not going to obstruct like the passages of a lab. I know lab safety, but I'm also probably gonna, because they're not big enough to put in the traditional incubator, so I'll have to jury rig one. So I'll probably get some like cleaning paper just to give them a soft bed, and then I'll get one of the heat lamps, maybe 1 or 2 of them to pop round. I mean, they're gonna hatch, so I need to get them to hatch now in a safe environment rather than trying to keep them in stasis, because we don't have many stasis, do we? And I
You've
don't
got
want
some
to...
low berths that you could use as stasis pods.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that they're like our only what, you know what I mean? Like if we had a whole bunch, sure, I would use them. But if a problem arises, I don't want to like have to faff about with stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's absolutely fine.
If I'm not misremembering, they're pretty important for like if someone gets hurt badly and we need to get them to a safe place so they can be patched up by a proper hospital. If I'm remembering my traveler lore necessary.
Yes.
So yeah. I'll leave them
the
untouched.
Sobaliri officers are kind of speaking to each other very, very quickly in their own language, which you know a few words in, but mostly curse words.
You know all the words they call.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Pat?
All right. So, everybody, please remain calm. There has been a murder on this ship. That's pretty obvious. The motivation seems to have been to gain whatever was in that box. I will need to consult everybody on the crew, not just yourselves, but I'll start with you, unfortunately. Seemingly to be the most likely culprits is someone who would know that you're carrying the box.
Of course. Please do start.
We'll have
and
to do
once
a
you are able to
thorough
disqualify us
investigation.
as suspects, then we will be able to assist you in your investigation.
That would be perfect. Yes. I'll need alibis from anybody who's got them. And I'll be consulting the video feed as soon as Percy gets that to me.
Please do. The senior lieutenant says, well, I think you can safely say that my alibi is ironclad. I was with the younger lieutenant and your captain.
Yeah, no, you're good.
How may I assist you in your investigation, Captain?
We have lots and lots of tapes. If it's I'm sure you do. It's all good. Yep.
All right.
He's
so
got a
what
very
was in the
chiseled
box?
chest, this young man. And abs like
What
a
was in the box?
xylophone.
Who would want it? Yes, you're very sexy. Thank you. You can put those away now.
Beg pardon. I came here as quick as I could. I will go to my
It's
room and
understandable.
put on a shirt.
No, I'm sure there's. I get like a bed sheet or something to give him. Put this on. Anyway,
Very
more
well.
important is
Captain,
figuring this out.
Please tell me how I can assist you in your investigation. Perhaps you should start with my uncle. I'm sure he is innocent of any crimes here because he is the leader of our delegation, but let us get this out of the way so that the Sommelier can assist you.
Indeed. Sir, where were you moments ago when all this transpired?
Moments ago, my friend, I was sleeping in my quarters. We were expecting to wake in a few hours, maybe have a small breakfast, and then arrive at Sommelier Prime. Whoever has done this has calculated a very precise time window where they stand the greatest chance of getting away with it. If they had done this days ago, they would be trapped on the ship. Now they are less than 24 hours away from escaping.
Oh, we're not letting anybody off the ship until we figure out what the fuck just happened.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the full details, but to the best of my knowledge, we were transporting a piece of military technology that would assist Sommelier in the war against Yan'an.
That's kind of what I figured.
But I have no knowledge of these eggs that your doctor calls them. That was not a part of any arrangement I had made.
Where did you get the box from?
The box was from a weapons dealer in the Atian consensus.
Mm-hmm. Gotta find a paper to take notes on, actually. Goddamn. All right. Atian consensus. And,
You will understand I am not at liberty to discuss everything with you because it is a matter of state secrets. But
who else would have known about it?
the only people who knew about it were myself and the Major. Even my nephew and my secretary were only aware that the cargo was important to the war effort and needed protecting. They were not aware of what it contained. And the Major was charged to protect it with his life.
He did. Bless his soul. And obviously you were sleeping alone, so there's no one to confirm your alibi, but I'm sure... as far as cameras go, we don't have like individual room cameras? That would be a little bit of a breach.
Probably not in the staterooms. I doubt that would be a very good advert. But
Is there
you've
one in
got
the
the ones
hallway?
in the corridor, yeah.
Right. And have I gotten them in yet?
Yep.
Okay.
So you pull up the camera feeds from the last sort of half an hour before you hear the gunshot, and it's one of the worst crimes you've ever seen committed, because what you see is Stephen, the archaeologist's assistant. He's got some kind of jury-rigged scanner in his hand, and he's walking along, scanning with it, frowning, and he stops outside the door, puts the scanner on his belt, pops open the door controls, hot wires the door, and walks inside. Then a moment later there's a crash followed by a gunshot.
Well,
And then Stephen comes running out again, holding a stick about a foot long. It looks like it's metallic. It's a kind of high chrome metalloid, but it's organic in shape.
bizarre.
And he runs out
Okay.
holding that. And as he runs out holding that, the camera fritzes out.
All right. This guy's a Commodore that I'm speaking to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Commodore, you and yours are no longer at the top of my. You're free to go. This is an internal matter of the ship. I would respect and appreciate your discretion as we go about this investigation. However, you will be appraised of all developments when we find them, when we feel at liberty to relay them to you. This is obviously not going to be left unresolved, and we will come to the bottom of this in as quick a fashion as possible. I need to consult the crew, and I need to discuss what I have seen in the footage here. You and yours are, however, no longer suspects.
Thank you, Captain Kashaf. We will take this opportunity to sit in your bar area, and there are certain rituals that must be observed for the Major.
Of course.
We will begin to work on those.
And, sir, I know this is not what any of us wanted or expected to happen, but I must express my sincerest apologies that this happened on our ship under my security.
I am sure you will get to the
failed
bottom
to
of it,
prevent
Captain. I
something.
trust
I
your
will.
discretion.
Yes. I'll make sure that this gets resolved post-haste. Where the fuck is Steven?
Do you want to
Where's that motherfucker?
Do you want to go straight on a Stephen hunt?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Do you want to like?
Steven's for dinner, my dude. Fuck the little rabbit lizards. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Well, I'm first gonna go to where he should be.
Well, where he should be is in the shared room with the archaeologist, Dr. Atticus.
Oh, that's where I'm heading.
When you buzz the door,
Sorry, my
there's
headphones
no
fell.
answer.
Well, that's gotta stop. Is this something I would have a key to?
It's
Can I break
security
in?
override under the circumstances. I imagine that you'd probably have one of those. So you override security. Lying in bed is the archaeologist, Dr. Atticus, snoring his head off with earplugs in, ignoring the alarm. Have you let the alarm keep running?
Oh, I think if Percy didn't turn it off, then most assuredly the Marquis would. Mercassar.
Okay. I'd say I should jump over to Vero at this point in case there's anything you want to do.
Well, if I remember correctly, my stateroom is right by the bar/lounge area, right? So I would notice all three of them coming back. I mean, I'd be surprised that the Commodore's with them, so I'd go and have a look what's going on.
So you pull on one of those enormous dressing gowns, the kind that you can only ever wear when the police come round to tell you that your husband's been murdered. Make your way into the bar area. The three of them are talking quietly together. Commodore stands up and says, Marquess, please forgive us for disturbing your rest. Unfortunately, it would seem my colleague Major Corps has been murdered. Your Captain Kashaf is currently investigating. We have come to sit here so that we might begin the rituals to observe sending off Major Corps' soul to its final resting place, or its next place on the cycle.
This is terrible. Is there anything I can do for you?
I trust that your Captain Kashaf will remedy the situation and find the person responsible. I know you yourself have what I would consider a flawless alibi, if you will forgive me for being so bold. Please.
Well, where I'm from, this is not being bold at all, but I understand what you're saying.
Please, you are welcome to join us if you wish.
Yes, I'd like to honor the Major. Please let me put on something more decent, and I do mean decent.
Of course. Persilius comes in and starts stewarding up some teas and coffees. Nye, you're knocking up some make-do incubators.
Yep.
Can you do me an engineering roll?
Oh, Jesus, I can't. Fuck.
Mechanic?
That is a good point. No, I don't have any of that stuff.
It looks like you're not going to be knocking up any incubators
No, and the person that can do it is busy going to murder
But it doesn't
Steven.
seem to be that much of an issue. These fleshy sacs are almost visibly growing. They are bigger now than when you picked them up.
Okay.
So they don't seem to be suffering at all.
Okay, well... Fuck. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I would like to, as puny as this is going to be, I'd like to put up the glass dividers that labs have for containing things, just like a little fence around them. Also, as a good way of measuring how big they get, because I imagine I'm going to put the fence a little bit away from them, so if they expand and they start touching it, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, they're getting bigger. I don't imagine whatever these are will stop them, but it's just for his own... It's for his own peace of mind. And oh gosh, I really don't know. I don't think leaving these things unattended, especially with the little fellas also in there, is a good idea. So I think Kier Pavlov is just going to watch them.
Whack a camera on them, start taking some notes.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm not wanting to think about them, but can I make a science roll, or hell, or just maybe even a history roll? Are bioweapons a big thing, or is this kind of not really? Because I want to know if these are like, gonna tear my face off the seconds they hatch, or are these
when it comes to bioweapons, the humans don't really make them.
Interesting.
Humans have had bad experiences with sort of living weapon things. There's the Koino, which are the sort of wasp-like insectoid bioweapons made by the Ren.
Yep. Yeah, I remember them.
This doesn't look like them, because your science knowledge of them would suggest that they sort of start out as maggoty little creatures.
Yes.
And then mature.
Okay, well, Get notes, camera, science. Let's go. I'm just gonna be taking fastidious notes, and we'll see what happens when they hatch.
Okay.
That's all I've got to say.
So, Vera, you change into one of the more subdued outfits that you've got and return to the bar. They've managed to rustle up some candles and are reciting prayers and remembrances of the Major, most of which relate around his diligence and valour, because that seems to be the only positives anybody can attribute to him.
I'll add to it that I wish I got to know him better. And I let it hang in the air what I mean by that.
Meanwhile, Pat, you start scouring the ship. So you're there in this archaeologist's room. It's quite clear that Stephen's bed has not been slept in this day. Dr. Atticus fast asleep in his bed. Hello?
Oh yeah, no, that's not gonna stay that way forever.
You shake him awake, and he kind of looks up at you.
He wakes up to me looking over him like this.
And he sort of looks at you and he blinks, and he looks at the sword and he says, "Is that an antique?"
No, well, I guess it's 20 years old. That doesn't matter. Where's your ward?
What?
Stephen.
What?
Where is Stephen?
You're very quiet, dear. Could you speak up?
Am I muted?
No.
No. Okay.
He's got earplugs in.
Right. I pull those out.
Oh, that's better. Yes, of course. I put those in when I sleep because Stephen snores something terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, friend, but I need to know where Stephen is right now.
He points at the other bunk in the room. Oh, is he not up there?
No, he's not up there.
Oh, he's been working terribly hard these last couple of days. Very diligent.
Yeah,
chap.
on what?
Well, we uncovered. I don't know how much. I was talking to your young lady, Percy, about my research, and I've uncovered something about a sort of a signal. And young Stephen's been working on a signal detector to try and pluck out elements of the signal for the device.
What signal? What signal? Very important question.
Well, there's a hyperspatial jump space signal that appears to be connected with these angels. We think it's how they're able to appear in such collective numbers throughout human history, mythology, and understanding. And so we've been working on some kind of device to pick up elements of the signal. And Stephen's been working terribly hard. He's quite a dab hand with electronics, you see, and building some kind of hyperwave detector.
Test run?
Oh, we don't have anything to test it on.
I think Stephen found something. And
oh, wonderful!
Did not end well.
That's fantastic news. Splendid. No?
No. It's very bad news for you, and even worse for Stephen.
Oh, how so?
Well, he's gone and done something that I did not expect from you two. Actually, you struck me as, well, eccentric, quite harmless folk.
Well, what's the boy gone and done now? He hasn't stolen something, has he?
Oh, no, far worse. He's gone and done something irreparable. He's committed a murder.
I was going to say academic fraud, but you're quite right. Murder is quite serious.
So, where could he possibly be?
Well, I can't imagine he'd have gotten far.
All right. Well, do you have any way of reaching him?
And he picks up his communicator and beep, 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 and a communicator on the desk on the other side of the room beeps in reply.
Marvelous. I get Percy on the communicator and say, I make sure all escape pods are completely locked down. We can't have anybody running off ship. I know who's responsible for this, and now's a matter of just finding them. Playing hide and seek on a goddamn spaceship's not what I had planned for this morning, but you know what? We all gotta do what we gotta do. Comms out. All right. You stay put. Contact me.
Of course.
If he comes back here. Don't.
Should he come back, I'll give you a call straight away.
Don't plan anything funny. Prepare a text saying here, or literally anything, and send it to me the moment he gets here. Don't try to call him.
Well, he's not going to be able to leave the ship. We're in jump space. You can't just throw yourself out of jump space. That would be madness.
He's gone and done something rash. I'm not leaving madness out of the equation.
Quite so. Very well, young lady. I shall stay here. And should he return,
I've been called a young lady.
He's quite old. I shall contact you straight away. At that point, another alarm starts blaring through the ship, and a computerized voice comes over. Warning. Depressurization in main hull. Warning. Depressurization in main hull.
My ship!
At which point, your whole ship shakes, judders, moves around. Gravity plating goes off. Everybody goes flying, bouncing off of things. Dr. Pavlov, you hear a clang and a bang from outside the lab, and an emergency bulkhead seals itself inside the room with you.
Oh, I really hope whoever's in those eggs aren't hungry.
And then there's like a roaring sound from beyond the door.
Oh.
And everything shakes. Everything's kind of floating a little bit for a second as the grav plating goes off. The grav plating comes back online. Everything falls to the ground.
How are the squabbits?
The squabbits are freaking out. They're absolutely losing their shit right now.
Okay. Well, lots of cuddles for them.
One of the eggs, not hatches because they're fleshy rather than shelled, and there's this little clawed hand pushes its way through the membrane of the egg and rips out, and this sort of 3-clawed opposable thumbed digit comes out. The skin appears to be covered in loads of little teeny tiny hairs or scales of some kind.
Okay.
And as it pushes its way out, this little mouth that's probably not much bigger than sort of that on your face opens in this huge yawn with a circle of little needle-like teeth, and it kind of rips its way out of this membrane and starts making this little squalling noise.
Okay. Hopefully imprinting works on these things, and I'm going to take some mealworms out my pocket, and I'm going to do the kind of mother bird thing and just place them as delicately as I can without touching the razor sharp teeth in their mouth. Hopefully this works.
And that's
are the
where
eyes
we
open?
will leave it this evening, with these
God.
mysterious little things ripping their way out of the membrane. The back end of the ship being ripped open by this arsehole trying to steal Pat's fighter.
Yeah, I caught that bit. Fuck this guy.
And the death of the Major. Dun dun dun. Well, thank you very much for joining us this evening on Garblag Games. A little bit of a cliffhanger to end on, and we'll come back to this next week. In the meantime, next week we've got stuff planned for most of the days. Can't tell you what it is yet because we're currently undergoing some tech upgrades, by which I mean we're shouting at our computers in the hope that it makes them work better. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more of our games out to you again next week. It depends on who's working, when they're working, and what they're working on. But we've got a cocktail of stuff in the works. There's some D&D in the works. There's some Star Trek Adventures in the works. There's more Traveller next week. There's some other things that I don't know if we're allowed to announce yet, so I won't. I'll leave those up to Pete, which are exciting and fascinating. Star Trek. But we will see you next week on Garbler Games. Don't forget to check all of our various socials, which are in all of the links. Come and join us over on Discord. There's the Discord link. It's last chance to order anything from Backer Kit for Descendants of Darkness before I lock down the orders in the next couple of days. Pat's doing some of the art. That's been coming along.
I'm doing all sorts of art.
All sorts of art.
Looks awesome.
All sorts of art.
That's what you're getting. The flash of the top of the notepad. But we will be back for more next week. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. And good night.
Good night.